I'd say my uncle. My uncle. He's like he's a lot similar to me in a sense, but we both of us we are so different, right? That we're almost like the yin and the yang. His story is the complete opposite of mine, but yet I can still relate to what he's going through. And we have the similar way of how we think of life and of how socially our people are. And we all have this, I don't know, connection and all that. And I had that bond with my uncle, and how we all like chill outside. Like sometimes I'll come after work, after like around about 10 o'clock. I'll come home from work and chill with my uncle and we would just talk about life, like how it's working or whatnot. Let's talk about like deep thoughts about stories, like what happened in your life and lessons, teachings and blessings and beautiful bond that I have with my uncle.
It is my mom. She passed away about all this 23 years now. She's passed. But I think she's the one who gave the biggest impact on my life. The type of woman that I'd always put not our children first before everything else. It wasn't always easy times. It was difficult times, but somehow she always made it happen, and we never went to bed hungry or anything like that. Even though we had little, she took care of us. She loved us, and that is why she's got the biggest impact on my life. And even now, now that I'm married and got my own family, I try to do the same and follow her example. How she raised me, I want to raise my children the same way because of what she did. So yeah.
Say this is my mom because, well, like obviously she brought me to life and everything, but she taught me that she taught me how to forgive a person who like really hurts you. And yeah, she's just such a generous, warm person, and like the way she like looks after me and my sisters is like so beautiful. That always makes me cry. Yeah, my mom's great.
There is actually one person, and she's my aunt. You know, and as much as life is difficult for her, even though she has a lot of things that puts her down, she has a lot of reasons to give up. She has a lot of reasons not to pray, but she prays. She believes, even though, you know, the obstacles come and go, and the bad things in life that happens to us. It feels like it's a mountain, but it's actually just this tiny. It's what you make out of it, and she actually inspires me. Like a change, you know, we're all moody, and we're all like, when I have a bad day, I'm gonna have a bad day. No, she's not like that. She's a cool and calm person, and you know, that's what God wants from us. Everyone in this world is getting angry these days. We don't care about no one. We just like, you know, when I wanna be angry, I'm gonna be angry. But that's not it. We need to control ourselves. That's where our power is. And you know, that's how I saw, and I was like, wow, I wanna be like her. And I always tell her, yo, you're such a good person, and I wanna be like you. And she just looks at me and she says, patience, prayer, believe. So yeah.
My mother. The fact that she raised me until this age, and she taught me a lot. I am a man of who I am because of her, so she's the best. I would actually say so.
Have to be my late father. Just his passing and not having enough time, because my parents are separated, so we lived in different provinces. So that was, yeah, I was not ready for that. I still struggling to this day, so it still has an impact on me. And yeah, I'm working through therapy and I'm working on it. My father was literally the life of the party. He was the funniest person. He would speak to strangers. He was well traveled. Like he was just like, he didn't have the, he'd speak to everybody. He'd love on everybody. He was a sweet person. So yeah.
My mom and my uncle. Well, in my mom, I found a best friend. You know, sometimes you be seeking validation through other people, or you wanna have a title with someone, best friends and stuff like that, with people you don't really know their backgrounds and everything. While your mom has been there, she has watched you grow, she's done many things for you. So I feel like my mom has the biggest impact, and my uncle too. He's like a mentor to me. Like he has his own company and whatsoever, so he's always encouraging me to do this, to do that, do whatever you feel like you really want to do and love.
If I look back, I could say she was an enemy, but now I'm grateful that she was there. My mother, because back in the days when I was still young, we used to fight a lot. Because she didn't want me to do things that other kids were doing, and my sisters would do things, my brothers would do things, but when it comes to me, she always have that stronger hand, not allowing me to do everything that others were doing. But looking back now, I would say that I'm very proud, because I am where I am today, and I've achieved the things that I've achieved because of her support and her strictness. Because if maybe I did what others were doing, I wouldn't be where I am today. Yeah.
So, Nelson Mandela, he's one of the people that, one can look up to, because he was really a statesman and person of humility, and he was, for someone who's been so long in prison and come out, and we expected the country to be in flames, but obviously that didn't happen because he saw the bigger picture, and I'm sure God must have been with him, to actually change his heart. Because I'm sure people feel so aggrieved by, when the wrong things has been done unto them, and all they can think about is taking revenge, and so, he's been one of the sort of people I can sort of look up to, and just follow in his footsteps, and so it's quite nice to just hold on to that thought and to think, if there's bad days in your life or whatever, it's just to maybe sort of reflect on someone who's given you the strength to go on and look at life differently.
My father, my mother, and my sister, my late sister. Those are people that actually had a big impact within my life. As I've actually stated previously, that I was a problematic child, but they were patient with me, showed me the journey, took me through the journey of life, and I did realize and saw life in their perspective and in my own perspective, and
Wow, there's a lot of people, but I would put my mom first. Yeah, I would put my mom. I mess up a lot of times, but she always gives me the courage to keep going. So I would put my mom. Yeah.
It's definitely my mother. She's like helped me through so much in life. It's been good. Like she's told me that like anything I want to do in life, I'm able to do. She's always told me as well, even when something bad happens in life, it's always just leading you to the next best thing in life, Which actually I feel like that's what I've learned the most in the past year as well. Everything that's gone wrong in life has just led me to where I am now, and I think it's pretty nice where I am now. So.
With my wife, Tasneem, she changed my life for the better. You know, we all go through phases in our lives, and you know, life with its curveballs, and sometimes you just need a rock to be there for you, and that is what she was for me. So yeah.
Lucy Tembagwai. He's an entrepreneur. I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot of what can I say? I learned a lot about life in general. I learned a lot about business. I learned a lot about the industry, or like the industry as a whole, the whole economic sector, everything that has to do with the economy. I learned a lot about investments and yeah, what I can do with my life after I finish what I'm doing currently. So
gotta be my mom. Yeah. To elaborate further, I mean, without her I wouldn't have all this to experience. So it's like just recognizing the higher powers above me, from my mom to more spiritual aspects like God. But yeah, just her giving me life inspires me to do well, just be myself. But yeah.